Okay, hey there, everybody. This is Beth Hovis, and I am doing a monthly What's on My Bookshelf Facebook Live. And so this month, the month of May, has been a really, really busy month. And I just had so many life events going on that I didn't advertise this. I didn't create it as an event. And I got to today when I scheduled it, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm supposed to be doing my Facebook Live today. I have posted a few things. I'm going to write in the top of the comments right here the two books that I'm going to be chatting about today. And I decided to do two books today instead of just one for a particular reason. So I want to share the first book. I'm going to put this one in the comments. The first book I'm going to talk about is Aromatherapy for Women by Maggie Tisserand. And so a lot of people may have heard of Robert Tisserand in the aromatherapy world. He's he created another book that I may share at a later time. He created has written like a textbook with all the research and all the safety guidelines and things like that. And I highly recommend it for anyone who is using essential oils. But I want to talk about where I got started with aromatherapy. So that was Aromatherapy for Women by Maggie Tisserand. This is a practical guide to essential oils for health and beauty. And this one I picked up, has to have been, 30 years ago. But I really like it because it's simple, but it's for women, but she includes aromatherapy care for children and during pregnancy. And that's where I was in my life 30 years ago. My youngest is 31. So I had young children. I was going through that time of my life, and the thing is she gives you practical. It's not just how to diffuse them. It's not just how to blend them. It's where to use them. Like I've just flipped open to the page on influenza, and she said she's giving you information on essential oils. Let me back up. I'm not really talking about oil safety today. I'm talking about the books, but there are safety issues that go with using these powerful essential oils. And if you use essential oils in bath water, it's a really good idea to have them in a bath bomb or in an oil carrier oil base. There's a difference between volatile oils, which are our essential oils, and our lipid oils, which are our fatty oils like coconut oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, things like that. So you want to dilute your oils because water amplifies. If you think about being on a lake and how the sound, you're talking really quietly, but you could actually hear the sounds across the lake, especially in the evening or the early morning when everything's quiet, and it's like, man, you can just whisper and hear that across the lake. Well, water amplifies. So think of that when you're thinking about using essential oils. If you put your oils in bath water, it actually amplifies the power, the benefits of the essential oil. So I turned to this chapter in the book that I'm talking about, Aromatherapy for Women by Maggie Tisserand. And she recommends mix a quantity of lavender oil in a base oil, and she gives you a page number to reference. And she says that now she's British, so if any of my students are watching this who took my aromatherapy class, and you're going, don't use the word treatment, because any of my students, whether iridology, herbology, aromatherapy, or naturopathic, I'm going to get you if you say treatment, because we don't treat, as naturopaths, we don't treat disease or illness or anything like that. But she's from England, and they can use the word treat or treatment there. So she says that using lavender in the bath can lessen the severity of the attack. In some cases, it can clear up the symptoms overnight. So that's pretty fascinating that, I should have pulled this book out when I was dealing with, I went on with the IPA board of directors, went to an event in New Orleans, and when I got home, oh my goodness, I think COVID was going around and I felt terrible. I should have gotten in the bath with some lavender to see if that would have pushed it out. Other essential oils that she recommends would be sandalwood, myrtle, neroli, tea tree, and lemon. So there's lots of great information. That's just one example. She's got things like for children, they're getting ready to go to a party and they're nervous. They have a sore throat. What about if they're dealing with warts, or even adults who are dealing with warts? She has a lot of good suggestions, and I really like that. And it's got information for helping the libido, as well. So it's for women. It's a book for women. It's got massage. It's got insomnia, aching feet, all kinds of things. It's a great book. Oh, there's Judy. Hey, Judy. Yeah, I learned a lot from Maggie Tisserand in this book, and so it is easy to use. So that's another thing is I think I really like the very practical and easy to use aspect of it. Hello. So Judy, I've got to figure out, somebody recommended using like Twitch, and I'm like, I don't know about that. That's a great idea, but we may need to do this through Zoom, but I still like it to be live on Facebook, so that I can see my friends, not just students, because this is practical. That you don't have to be a naturopathic student. You don't have to be an herbalist or anything like that to use these books. This is for everyday people, right? So this is a really good book. The other book that I wanted to talk about, and the reason I'm talking about two, is because this was my introduction into aromatherapy. But this is the book that I kind of fell in love with once I got familiar and comfortable with using essential oils. I stumbled on Valerie Warwood's book, The Complete Book of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy. And I don't know if you have this one, Judy, but it's really interesting. This one's more, as you can tell by the thickness, comparison wise, this one's more comprehensive. This is a really good get your feet wet. So if you're asking yourself which one should you get, I'm going to have a hard time answering that because I love books. Get both of them. But this one was like, oh wow, so many more recipes, so many more options, and it's got first aid, aches and pains, and burns and things like that. All right, so Judy says, when I was stocking my store, I went with Tisserand and different oils because I love the documentation. Yeah, they have a lot of documentation, and I may have said that name wrong. She'll correct me later. Warwood was included in a research bundle I needed to help build the Old Trinity Naturopathic Doctor program. So you like Warwood as well? Did you find her information valuable, Judy? Judy is also she injured her arm, so she's having to type or dictate, so it could take her a minute to get her response in, but that's okay. I'm just glad she's here. I was talking to the world, to Facebook world, with no responses, so I can keep doing that. So again, the complete book of essential oils and aromatherapy. She's typing like a pro. Yay. I was asking how you like Warwood's work. Do you feel like it measures up? Would you buy this book? Yeah, so Judy says she does like this book and that it puts several things together for her. And that's why I like it too. It was kind of like, this one got my feet wet, and this one was like, oh wow, and I can do this and I can do that, and it makes sense. I even have, you notice I've got my little sticky note, my post-it note in here, because apparently I needed help with teeth and gums for some reason, and it's got a really good recipe in here to help support. And so we use things other than just essential oils and carrier oils. The one for teeth and gum calls for clay, salt, peppermint, and lemon. So it goes beyond just, oh, here's an essential oil and here's a carrier oil, put them together. She explains why she's using the different oils so you get more familiar with your oils. So she includes peppermint and lemon in her recipe, but then she mentions that myrrh has been used for treating mouth problems for a really long time. And it's marvelous for the gums, but this is something if you're needing a tooth powder to brush your teeth, here's a tooth powder. Judy says, I'm surprised you don't have a big spreadsheet with all the possible concoctions. That might be a little too many details for me. So I like spreadsheets and I like some details, but I don't like getting bogged down in the details. So I'm looking at this and going, oh, I may need to pull this back out and make my own creation. The thing here is, I'm going to jump topics. So we have natural choices for men. So while this focused on women and children, it does have information for children. And essential oils are going to be, if you can use this for a child for helping overcome the flu, then you can use the same things for an adult typically to overcome the flu. So it's versatile. It's not limited. Yes, your job is the details. So, yes. Thank you. She gives me the details and she keeps me on track. I'm pretty good with details. I just don't like too many of them all at the same time because then I can't move forward. So like natural choice for men, and just like Maggie's book, it's heart care, it's body awareness care. It addresses the reproductive system. As well as pains and sores and just different things that someone might have issues with. So another thing that I really like about her book is not only does she have it by chapter, right? She's got, if you need help with your feet and legs because of diabetes or something like that, she's got something in there for that, chapter by chapter. But she's got charts. There's my spreadsheets, Judy. There's my spreadsheets. I don't need them if they've already got them, right? So you've got spreadsheets in the back that tell what the essential oils do, just that nutshell version, and what parts of the plant they come from. That's one of the things we learn about in the aromatherapy courses is where the where the plants come from, the parts of the plant used affect different parts of the body. So we think of the leaves or the needles of a pine tree or the needles of a fir tree helping with respiratory. They help with breathing. We think of flowers, which are higher, as helping more brain. Now they can be used everywhere, but we think that's how we sometimes identify which one does what. So flowers and buds are really good for the head, and things like the roots and the branches or the trunks are going to help be balancing and strengthening. So yes, she knew it. So that's really, that's where I am with, I hope I didn't just lose it. Am I still live? There I am. Okay, something happened to my screen and I lost it. Roxana, I put the books at the top of the chat, and I also did some icons in Brilliant Health with Beth and Judy's lists about today's that have the name and titles. But it's Aromatherapy for Women by Maggie Tisserand, and The Complete Book of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy by Valerie Warwood. And so what we were talking about before was the parts of the plants being suitable for different parts of the body. And I mentioned the pine the pine needles, the leaves of the trees typically being good for the middle part of the body or for the breath, for the lungs, and the trunk of the tree, the roots of the tree being good for balancing, calming, and grounding. And we call that doctrine of signatures, because what the part of the plant does affects likewise in us. So yeah, Roxana, she's awesome. She is awesome. And I really wish, so Roxana and I have a friend in common named Nitsa Moshe, who has her own, I'm not being paid to mention her, but she has her own essential oil line, and she's pretty fabulous. She's even blended an essential oil blend for me. I went through her, do you remember what she calls that, Roxana, where she uses your name to determine, what essential oil, your name, and you fill out like a questionnaire. Anyway, it's really fascinating, and she makes a blend for you. Mine is named Beth Hannah because my name is Beth Ann. So in Hebrew, that's Beth, same name, but Ann is Hannah. So it means house of grace. And so she created a blend for me, House of Grace, and she forgot. So I may put that in I may put her link in there. I'm looking forward. I would love to take her class, is why the whole reason I brought up Nitsa's name is I would love to take her class. But these are the books. This is what I love. This is how I got started with these two books. And they're just really great, whether you're just getting started and you're not sure of how to do and what to do. They keep in mind safety guidelines, and that's another thing I really like, is if you don't know the safety guidelines of, because there are some oils you can use and they're not going to burn or hurt the skin, but you can overexpose your skin and cause sensitization. So it's always a good idea to dilute your oils. When I first got started in aromatherapy using essential oils, I was told, oh, you can use this neat. And I've used several oils neat, never had a problem. But I've also seen peppermint oil eat through a styrofoam cup. So using it, like I said at the beginning, water amplifies, oils dilute. And so if you're not using them safely, you can actually burn the mucous membranes on the inside of your body. You can burn your skin. You can cause sensitization. So these books, even if you're not familiar with the, essential oils and all the safety guidelines, they give you recipes with safe guidelines. So one of the assignments we have in our aromatherapy class is to go onto Pinterest and find recipes and break it down. Is this a safe recipe? What should be changed? What should be done differently? And and many times we find that the carrier oil, there's no carrier oil. And if you use those oils, like they'll put wintergreen or peppermint, or wintergreen and peppermint and black pepper all together for sore muscles, and the dilution ratio is non-existent, and you could really cause damage to your body, to your skin, by using things that are not diluted properly. So this has some great recipes, some great ideas, and I just wanted to share those with y'all. I'll put them in the comments again, and just appreciate those who did joining me. Like I said, next time I'll try to make sure I set this up as a live, as an event, so that everybody's getting notices. I forgot about that. It's my second time, so. All right. Thank you again for joining me. That's what I wanted to share, and we'll do this again sometime in June.